VerticaLove's Something Wicked in Hamilton, Ontario, and I'm here with
the Blaack Widow
and Fran, Mackenzie, the organizer. It's off camera. Okay, so how do you guys feel that this one's going compared to previous years that I have not been here?
This is going very well, actually. Last night ran really smooth, and all the performances were great as usual. But yeah, I think we got it down pat now.
This is our 4th year, so we've been able to, get it down to a fine science. We have every year we get new performers in, give them their opportunity to dance on a stage with proper poles, properly rigged poles.
Yay, X-Pole.
All X-Pole.
Yeah.
We only buy X-Pole.
Gives them the opportunity to really express themselves and have an opportunity to perform outside of a competition.
Or their own studio.
Yeah. So,
and it gives them a chance to mingle with other people from different studios and different parts of the province.
And country.
And country.
And continent.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw a Texas license plate outside. I don't know what that's about, but they drove. Yeah, maybe it was a rental car, but who cares? They drove. Right.
We did. The first year we had a girl come up from Texas.
We did, yeah.
Yeah. And this year we have a girl that came in from Wisconsin, and of course we've had wonderful Joel Lessing come in from Chicago.
Right, and then Bob from Colorado.
Bob from Colorado. Yeah. We've had you come up from Detroit, which is nice.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Probably the shortest American drive, other than let's say Niagara Falls, New York.
Well, let's not forget our international pole celebrities too that come in.
Oh yeah, Lux ATL from obviously Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
David C. Owen, who's currently now in Philadelphia, but has also been in Vegas and other places. Jenny Janover from Connecticut. See Michelle Minks from St. Louis, Missouri. Yeah. So you got a few Americans here. That's for sure.
You got a few Americans. It's nice that they realize that we have a vibrant, growing community here in Canada, and they love coming out for this show. It's becoming better and better known.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've known about it for over a year now. I just couldn't get my paperwork in order to cross that there border. And if Trump gets his way, he's going to put the wall on the wrong border. But
then we get to keep our Tim Hortons.
Oh yeah, I mean, South Park already did an episode on what happens when Canada builds a wall and Americans are like, hey. Speaking of South Park, I say that Bob Zamora over there is basically the Randy Marsh of the pole world. He's a meteorologist in Colorado who's not afraid to wear heels. So, about the talent that you've seen here, what percentage would you say is new this year compared to last year? Like new faces?
Probably about half. I'd say about half are new. We've had some girls that have only competed, and now they want to showcase because it takes the pressure off. They're not being judged. But we are open to all styles. Even when we run our competition, we run all styles.
That was obvious last night. There were obvious different styles.
Yes.
And not only that, and to be honest, I'm going to say most of the performances I saw last night were competition worthy, whether or not those performers realize it, whether or not they want to admit that what they just did was awesome.
Yes.
There were a few that, even in my vast experience of going to pole events, most of which were competition based, there were a few last night that just blew me out of the water. And then in rehearsal today, holy cow, that duet that we're going to watch tonight.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Double trouble.
Double trouble.
Yeah, that's Canadian talent.
Double pole trouble.
Yep.
I cannot wait. They're going to break the internet and YouTube altogether.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's going to be great. Engineers like me are going to have to relearn what physics really is, because even just in rehearsal, I'm like, how is that possible? What, do they both weigh 0 pounds?
Yeah. But the thing that's great about this show, though, is the fact that you don't have to be that level in order to participate. Like, you can have girls that are just learning and just want to get that.
That maid routine was adorable with the weight with the tray table.
She had a great presentation, and she enjoyed it.
Her movement was smooth. Well, you could tell that she was doing what she wanted to do.
She integrated pole with belly dance, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah.
It's the creativity that comes out in these showcases is amazing. Like, we've never seen so many different styles, so many different types of dance, and they're not afraid to There's so much creativity that comes out and emerging of styles. We've seen everything from athletic to super sexy to burlesque. We've had belly dancers on stage.
Well, there was the one girl last night who went complete, and I'm just guessing here, like, I knew it was Indian. I wasn't sure if it was Bangladesh or Mumbai. But
Bina, she does the Indian dancing.
It was wonderful to see that outside of a Bollywood movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's so good to see that we have so many different cultures. But this time, we've got girls from across, well, even tonight, we've got girls from across Canada coming.
British Columbia, I think. This is as far as you can get, isn't it?
Onyx is from Saskatchewan, I believe. And you've got Saskia, who's from Montreal. And then even just within our own province, we've got a bunch of girls from London tonight. We've got girls from Windsor, girls from Barrie. So it's really good to see all these, different places. Oh, and Ottawa. We got a couple of people in from Ottawa.
That's right there, right next to Quebec, yeah?
Yes.
I'm learning my geography. I'm just going to point at the stage now.
Yeah, you sneeze, you're in Quebec.
Yeah.
So this is my first time here, and again, not to toot my own horn, but I consider myself well-traveled, and even just within the United States, it's rare that I go to an event where I don't know more than, let's say, 60% of the people that are performing or that are the ones that you're supposed to know.
Yeah.
Here at this event, I can firmly say that I know less than 10% of these people. I recognize less than 10%. It's very refreshing for me to see such new talent that although I knew there had to be more people out there.
Right here.
It's refreshing every time I go to an event where I know almost no one, and even more refreshing when they don't know me.
Yeah.
I can be just that creepy photographer guy, and they don't know any better, or I can be that guy that for some reason is working on the X polls or whatever, and it's actually kind of refreshing, but at the same time, I want to know them. I want to link with them on Facebook, and coming to an event like this is a perfect way for somebody who, like myself, thought they already knew everyone.
Well, and the thing is, a lot of these girls follow each other on Facebook, right? Or even some of the big names that we have coming in, they follow them on Facebook, but they've never met them face to face, and that's what's so great. Right?
And our profile pictures are not necessarily recognizable, wouldn't you say, Black Widow?
Well, yeah, sometimes that's.
Okay. I mean, for all I know, you're really Angelica Houston. I just don't know. There was one girl last night, I'm not going to mention who, but she killed it on stage, and then afterwards I interviewed her, and she admitted that she really doesn't, she's new to pole, she's less than a year, we'll say, but to the point where she doesn't know any of the famous names, the celebrities, and that's fine, you don't have to, it's not like it's an initiation. But what's wonderful is that here she's in the crowd sitting next to David C.O. and Michelle Minks, Lux ATL, Ginny Janover, and didn't know that these people are just influential, and soon she will too. She did mention Maddie Sparkle, so like YouTube was good to her. Maddie Sparkle's a good one to follow.
But even some of our Canadian talent, like some of those girls have done
Tara Meyer.
like
oh my
amazing
God, I love her
things,
feet.
right?
Yeah.
And I don't mean like in a fetish way, I mean like her ballet shows no matter what she's doing. I bet if she's cooking in the kitchen, she still has pointed toes.
Crystal Lai.
Crystal, I used to chat with her all the time back in 2011 and 2012. What happened? I haven't talked to her in forever. Is she still doing the pole thing, or is she?
She still teaches at Tantra, but she's got a career now, as she calls it, her muggle job.
Yeah, she's the one that gave me that term.
The muggle job?
Yeah, years ago, I would say, somebody's like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, you mean pole or my muggle job? And they're like, oh my God, I love that. I'm like, give Crystal Light credit. Yeah.
We've had, I'm trying to think of who else. Erin Savard.
I met her in Chicago.
Yeah.
I got a picture with her. We were both doing a gun show. Mine was a 22 caliber compared to her 50 millimeters.
I was gonna say, I don't know if that's a competition.
It was not a competition. I was so impressed by her physique.
I saw her do a spotting workshop one time.
That's what I took.
Yeah, and she goes, okay, so this is what you do. And we're saying, well, the average person's not you. You're probably just holding that person, right? Because she's so strong.
Just so you know, too, and she's not here tonight. I wish she was. But Miss Pole Dance Canada 2011, Shannon Pollard actually lives in Hamilton.
I know that name. I'm sad that she's not here.
She's a very busy woman, and
I teach under students.
Yeah.
But we do have Miss Nude Ontario 2012.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah, she's really lovely on the I'm single now, aren't I? Okay, so anyway, the scope that I saw last night, I'm sure I'm going to get to see more of that tonight. Like just the range of the styles, the range of abilities, and like I said, most of them last night should be proud of themselves. It was competition worthy. Tonight, I've seen so many rehearsals, and I think again most of them are going to be competition worthy.
Yeah.
And whether or not these people ever decide to compete, the YouTube video of their performance here is going to allow them to influence others without competing, and allow you as an event, as a series of events, to influence people to remember that they don't have to compete to be recognized. They don't have to compete to find their own limits. They don't have to compete to feel challenged. They can come on stage in front of people that will love them no matter what they do, and still feel challenged, but still give it their all. Last night, the one performer who did the Ex Machina theme, Libby, I don't know how many people in the audience recognized that that's what she was doing, but I was almost crying at the end when she booped the nose of the mannequin. And because of the response of the crowd, who may or may not have even realized that connection to that amazing movie and idea, I got up and I videoed the crowd. It's at the end of her routine video that I took. And it's just epic to see how many people were cheering and on their feet for a performance at a showcase rather than a competition.
We've watched Libby, I think, from the beginning when she started competing 3 years ago. And Libby is one of the few dancers that truly tells a story every time she performs. There's always a theme, and she becomes a character.
And she takes everything and brings it into one whole story, like her dance, her music, her costume.
Just even her facial expressions. She moves even her hands, and that's part of her story.
And to make that even more, not quite ironic, but something similar to that, she's doing such amazing storytelling in a performance, and yet that kind of storytelling can ace a whole category or three in a real competition. There can be, depending on the category, and I talked to Rain afterwards, and I said, dude, I loved your performance. If you'd like any feedback, if you're ready to compete. And he said he wanted to compete again. And I'm like, well, just learn the categories first, because sometimes floor work doesn't really matter. Okay, rarely. But sometimes there's a whole category for whether or not you had a theme, whether or not you told a story, whether or not you synced with the music. Libby, whether on accident or on purpose, aced those categories last night. I've judged several competitions. And of the people that I've judged, I'd say only 4 others come to mind that have done such a themed routine with such obvious precision. She should be very proud of herself, and you should be proud of yourself for having her here.
We are so blessed to have her perform at every show that we've ever had.
Yeah?
Whether it be a competition or a show, she is always here, and she always competes, and she's always brings her, even if she freestyles, like when she did the competition piece for CPFA, she did a Superman.
Oh, with the face paint.
Yes.
Loved it. She's cut her hair since then, but I loved it. I didn't realize that was her.
That was her.
That was amazing. You know what? There's a picture of that nearby. I'm gonna travel over here. There it is, right there. the Superman. My, that was convenient. So yeah, I love what you do here. Everybody else will once they know of it, and it's kind of surprising to me if people don't know about this yet, just because you've done the right things as far as marketing goes. And love it. I'm going to do my best to make sure that everybody else knows about this, the showcase, the series.
Well, just so that also if your audience knows, we have the competition coming in October. October 14th, 15th is open to everybody, Americans,
And what's
Canadians.
That one called? The Great White North?
Yep. Yeah, for the Great White North that we live in.
Yep.
And a month.
Love Presents.
Vertical Love Presents.
Wait,
and then
what month is it in?
October, right after
Isn't it going to be really cold here?
No.
Okay, good.
No, it's the week after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Our Thanksgiving.
Which is your Columbus Day.
Why do we even still celebrate that one? That guy was a loon. He was an a-hole.
I'm Christine.
Anyway, so I wanted to focus in on you, Steph, and Aubrey. You were a delight last night. Again, I've been to several events. Like, this is my 19th, I think. And of the ones that have an actual MC, rather than just a program and the next person comes on stage and nobody knows who it is unless they're looking at the program, of the ones that had an MC, you're in my top 5.
Oh, well,
yeah.
that's good to hear.
Yeah, and I love it when there's more than one MC, so they can bounce off of each other, even if it's scripted, you know, promotions or advertisements for the vendors or whatever. You guys made it fun.
It was fun.
It was really fun.
Working with Steph and
Aubrey?
I
didn't know what to expect of him when I first saw him. And then when you guys were practicing for your intro, I'm like, okay, how's he gonna pull in that? And then he didn't, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then he made the note of, I can't pull in this, obviously. I'm like, well done, sir. You took safety to the next level.
He is very creative.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it a lot. You kept it fun. As a videographer, as a hobby, I must thank you guys for saying, so up next is, and that gives me enough time to hit record so that I can get you audibly saying the name of the person that I'm about to record, so that when I'm flipping through 120 videos later, all I have to do is play the first 5 seconds and I know whose video that is, and I'm not like, oh my God, what's their name? That was so super cool of you to say, up next we have Michelle, blah, 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 blah. Here's Michelle. Perfect. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad that works for you.
Right. That is such a godsend. I videoed, I don't know, maybe 7 different events. I'd never had that luxury before.
Oh, well, we always try to do that just to reconfirm that you know who's coming up.
And then again when they get off the stage.
Yeah.
Some of the ones I missed the beginning, but I waited for you to say it at the end and you didn't disappoint. It made it so easy for me to catalog my videos of the performances.
I really feel it's important for the audience to know exactly who that person was.
Yep.
Because I think they should have that recognition.
Oh yeah.
So that's what we always do it twice at the beginning and do it when they're done. So we can thank them as well.
I love it. Yeah, any other thoughts?
I was going to mention too, right after the Great White North, we have a month later, we will have the Girly Show. Ooh. So one night, be as sexy as you want.
And there's no limits.
No limits to sexiness there.
We got all the right permits?
We have all the right permits.
Okay. You've bribed all the right people with donuts?
And coffee.
And coffee. But not just any coffee, Timmy's.
Yeah, Timmy's.
Timmy's. All right, thank you very much.
And poutine.